All right, how we doing today? I was getting ready to do this video about the DJ Granddaddy ICU, 54 years old, that passed away of these unknown causes. So as I was pulling up like a couple of songs that he did, something new. All right, I remember that song. I was probably 17 or 16 years old when that came out, when they had Rap City back in the day with Big Lip Chris Thomas. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all been around to remember Rap City on BET. Used to come on after school back in the day. All right. We was on the same record label with Big Daddy Kane, Cold Chillin' Records. But I want to talk about now Stephen tWitch Boss. All right, because this pulled up when I was trying to pull up a couple of videos that Granddaddy ICU did. It was on YouTube right in front of my face. And I'm thinking, this dude was 40 years old. Now, he was the longtime DJ of Degenerate, Ellen Degenerate show, okay? I really didn't care too much about that show anyway, all right? And my opinion about that woman, I'm going to keep it to myself for this video, but for the most part, I'm talking about this DJ. This dude was 40 years old, and he was part of that show since 2014. Long-time DJ. They don't say that this guy all of a sudden committed suicide. They don't say a word about this dude. Nothing bad. Okay, that this dude was married. He just celebrated his 9th year anniversary. He had 2 children. Okay, everybody spoke highly of this guy. Even his wife, said that he was a good husband and gentleman and father. Okay, there's not anything wrong, anything bad with the comments that people made. And I hate to tell you, y'all, but I don't believe it, okay? With these guys that are dying like this, but particularly like in the hip-hop world, there's something going on, okay? Yeah, I know that I probably spoke on, is it something that they put on their body, inside their body? But there's just too many incidents with these things going on. Suicide, drowning in the bathtub, dying of unknown causes or unknown illness. Okay, either that or somebody catching a hot one in their head. Okay, all over some beef about probably, I don't know, money or probably a woman, something like that. Okay, so, and it's hitting our older and as well as middle-aged and younger communities. All right, with these high-profile deaths. Okay, there's something that's going on. All right, and really, in the end of the day, let's just face it. All right, it's all about money. I'm not going to all get into no conspiracy theory stuff. All right, but we already knows. All right, a lot of times people that are in the know after these deaths or whatever. Okay, for some reason stakes go up high. Okay, you see what's going on with Migos right now, and that guy Takeoff. Okay, where not only that their record sales are going to go up after that man's death, but now the family's fighting over his estate and all that. But let me not digress. Let me get into Granddaddy ICU. So he was a prominent rapper all throughout, like from the middle 80s to the early 90s. And, he cooled off right about then. That was at a time, probably like in the latter 80s, about maybe 87. You started seeing guys, again, I was probably a teenager, all right? And it's probably pertinent if you wasn't the man if you didn't have like KRS, Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, LL, Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy. All right, all them cats on that Def Jam tour. Did I say EPMD? All right, I had all this stuff. Okay, at least the first 3 of their records, CD. What was that back then? Record and CD. okay? But that was back when you started seeing rappers, you know, with the gold chains, and they had, you know, the Corvettes back then, Suzuki Samurais, Camaros, Benz or BMWs back then. Okay, guys that were really starting to get, you know, dividends for their rap. Okay, rap music, which was back probably before, again, '87. A lot of that was done was done to try to save the community, and there was still a lot of positive messages. All I'm saying is you see the difference back then. It was just people before then, the 70s and 80s, people were doing that, you know, for a craft. Okay, Curtis Blow. I do remember I was a kid when all them guys came out. Fat Boys, uh, Ice-T, Grandmaster Flash. Okay, which those guys are in their 60s now. It's hard to believe those guys are like 55, 60 years old now. I see that LL and this guy, let's see here, Rakim, all those guys I mentioned that here, that they're like 55 pushing 60. I think LL will be 55 in January next month. But Granddaddy ICU is 54 years old. I still think that they're still young, and I still think that he had a lot of living to do. Okay, and again, there's just too much. I'm just thinking, when you hear about stuff like that, these unknown causes, that means that that starts to have me thinking it could be things like a combination or probably something they put in their body, lifestyles. You know, if you into things like weed and but a lot of the rappers do smoke weed. Okay, am I saying that he didn't know? But probability is probably medium to high. But if you're into that type of lifestyle where you're gonna dibble and dabble in drugs and you're in your middle 50s, you know, your heart is not going to be able to withstand all that stuff. And like I say, it's good to lay off that stuff anyway. You even need to be used a sermon about using weed, okay? Except when you need it, all right? But it's just something weird going on. I'm just thinking, anytime you're hearing about bathtub or ODU, I'm sorry, not ODU, but OD, what else? Okay, suicide. Something was done to that person, probably more than likely, okay? I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to maybe get more details on this. I'm thinking you're going to hear about more details, particularly on that tWitch, DJ tWitch. And if I get the information that I think that's satisfying, I'll get back with you. Let me know what you think about the video. If there's anything that I missed out, or particularly like the DJ tWitch, okay, be sure to respectfully put it in the comments box. And thank you for your time.